Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad to see you all in today's video, so thanks for tuning in. And today's video is probably one of the most special ones I have ever filmed in my life. It is gonna be a review on the brand new series that is called LGBTIQ, that is created by Prin Lomros for his indie project Strangers Perfumerie. And as you know, I admire the work of Prin Lomros so much because he is a true artist for me. All his perfumes are inspired by amazing, unique stories, and he creates most complex, fascinating scents. And this new series is totally amazing. The concept is so modern and so relevant nowadays. And besides this new series that I will present in today's video, I have a lot of favorites from his main house Pryn Parfums and also from the previous Strangers Perfumerie collection. So if you're interested in more Prin Lomros perfumes, definitely check out those videos. The links will be in my description box down below. But now let's talk about this new series that was inspired by LGBTIQ characters in the cinema world, the utopian space of true identity or freedom of expression, if that movie is made by or made for the LGBTIQ audience. So he wanted to celebrate the gender equality in the world of moving images, and hopefully that idealism could reflect the reality to the world by LGBTIQ characters. Hopefully, one day there will be no hate crime or homophobia. Understanding each person could be able to choose their true identity, and scents that are created with no gender is a great example for human beings. First of all, huge applause to you, Prin. I know that guy personally, that true artist who is so passionate about what he's doing. He's doing it because of art. I have a huge honor to be his friend. I know him personally, and every time we meet with him, he's just so shy and so humble, and I just love Prin, and to be familiar with his work is just a huge honor for me once again. So there are 5 perfumes in this new series, and they all are very different from each other. They are pretty complex, but the idea of Strangers Perfumerie's project is to create perfumes that are truly niche, indie and unique, created out of most rare ingredients, but perfumes are affordable, which is totally mind-blowing. So let's get started with the first scent that is called Oliver, and it is actually my favorite one from this new collection. By the way, this is a very modern packaging with all the notes, all the prominent notes that the perfume features. So Oliver was inspired by the movie and the novel Call Me By Your Name, and it is basically a love story between two men. 17-year-old Elio that becomes charmed by very handsome student of his father, Oliver, who visits their family during the summertime when they are in Italy. And that Oliver, oh gosh, he's so handsome, tall man with this amazing blonde hairstyle and just like amazing body. And Elio is a super charming, young, pretty man who is really drawn to Oliver, and actually this perfume inspired me to watch a movie. And right at the beginning you notice that Elio is really attracted or just interested in Oliver, but in the beginning I thought just because he wants to be like him, and then later you understand that he is just in love with him, and so is Oliver. So that is just such an interesting love story between two men, something very unusual, but something that happens all the time. And just I find that it is such a pity that still to this day it is pretty hard for people with non-traditional sex orientation. I would say it is so hard to live a normal life, and the society does not accept them that easily, and I find that is such a pity. Well, now let's talk about this perfume. Oh gosh, this is the representation of sexy, casual person that is so appealing and charming. Perfume is a great fresh summertime scent, and it has this fruitiness to it that comes from apricot, really ripe, delicious apricot, which for me is a symbol of Oliver. If you watch the movie, you will understand why. But basically, this is a salty, amazing apricot that is juicy, that is mouth-watering, but this whole scent is a green shipper, as my mom described it, and it has that fun mojito moment going on, a lot of citruses, green notes, and it is just so casual. I'm telling you, it is impossible not to love this scent, and I just highly recommend it for summertime, for men and women. It is very easygoing, and so is this movie, and I did not expect that because of the story as each perfume is described. I thought it will be something intense and hard to watch, and even that sexy moment going on that we saw in the film, it is so nicely done. I'm so sensitive to sex in the movie, and everything was just perfect. That, like, the direction of that movie was amazing. So yeah, that is just a casual summertime, very unique, high quality aromatic scent. And now let's move on to scent Clement, which looks like this, and this is actually something very different from Oliver, even though it is also based on the Call Me By Your Name novel. So this is basically the scent that reflects Elio's memories when he and Oliver were in a room, and they kind of could live their lives, to be in love, to have sex, to have just great time. And this perfume is surely complex, and then by the end of the movie, Oliver goes away, and one day, I believe that is before the holidays, both characters are Jewish. That is also kind of like an interesting moment in the film, and they are getting ready to celebrate Hanukkah, and there is just beautiful decor in the whole house and that just holiday festive vibe. And he gets a call from Oliver, and he just says, I miss you too. And Elio just knew that he wanted to say that he's getting married, and then he just cried, and it was so touching. The whole film was so touching, sitting by the fireplace, and that is just that smoke, that amazing winter vibe that Pryn presented in this perfume is amazing. Like, Pryn presented each element of the movie, of the novel, of the story in the scent, which I found so beautiful. Like, Pryn, you are the best. So in here we have red wine, cherry, tobacco, apricot, leather, fireplace, frankincense, espresso, oak musk, pomegranate. I don't get a lot of red wine, cherry, apricot moment going on. I think that apricot in here is kind of like a little connection to Oliver, and I get more of really dark woodsiness, a lot of smoke, and just sadness in this perfume, you know. And for me personally, this is the hardest one to pull off, but if you love smoky, fiery perfumes with a lot of darkness and just like leather vibe, you will love it. It is a great perfume to wear when it's super extremely cold outside. So that's been said, we are kind of done with Call Me By Your Name story, and we are moving on to the perfume Gherghe, that I love so much. I did not even expect to love it that much. So this perfume is inspired by Gherghe character in the God's Own Country film, and it got so many awards and nominations. I didn't watch this movie, but I watched the trailer, and it was amazing. I need to watch the movie. But this is basically a love story between two men, British farmer Johnny and Romanian migrant worker Gherghe. And I need to tell you that this scent is so unique. Oh gosh, it is beautiful. It has this amazing aromatic dark scent of England landscape, and to me it smells like boozy, alcoholic, sweet flower that is growing wildly somewhere in the mountains. This perfume is amazing. It is a true masterpiece, and I would give Pryn an award just for this scent straight away. This perfume is pretty dark, but it is much easier than, for example, scent Clement. I would say that this is a scent that has that boozy, sweet, alcoholic moment, but it is not really that head aching or just like heady, you know. It is just extremely pleasant, and This perfume on the skin even reveals something earthy and something super herbal, and that movie is pretty dark in comparison to the Call Me By Your Name, because in that movie it is really easygoing, that 80s fashion, the music, the landscape, the summer, it is just like something so beautiful. And in here there is a lot of depth, a lot of pain, and we have the note of Hey Absolute, benzene, tobacco, narcissus, bluebell, cypress, patchouli, gardenia, alamy, and myrtle. So in this perfume there is more depth and it is so attractive. This perfume is one of the best green herbal aromatics for me personally, because it has this unique boozy, lonely flower moment going on. So that's been mentioned. Let's move on to Virginia, perfume that Prin thought I will be in love the most with, and he was not that right, because I kind of like Gherghe even more. So this perfume is based on Virginia Woolf's biography inspired by the novel The Hours, and I need to tell you that Virginia Woolf is kind of like a bisexual woman, and this perfume is representation of how she still considered the kiss she shared with her friend Sally years ago as the happiest moment in her life, while now both women are married with men and raising children. And that is once again, as with the story with Oliver, such a pity that people who want to be with people of their gender cannot really live a normal life as straight people do. So Virginia is definitely a floral scent, but it is a new floral scent to me, because it is not really girly or feminine or sweet or powdery. It is the scent of cold spring English garden after the rain. These flowers are almost aquatic, they are very fresh, they are wet, and they are pretty green. And there is some moment of loneliness in this perfume that is infused in a lot of hope. This perfume is not that, you know, flirty. Actually, my mom said that it is a flirty scent, but for me it is more serious and romantic, and that romance is bittersweet. And I would say that this is a great spring, or just I don't know, like you can wear this perfume anytime you want that fresh wet flowers from English garden on your skin. And what is really cool about it, it is truly unisex floral perfume with notes of wildflowers, which for me personally is the best representation in perfumery. Wildflowers in here are truly wild: English bluebell, elderflower, paper, angelica, suede, and oak wood. And finally we are moving on to Burning Band. Oh gosh, I love this perfume. This perfume is pretty interesting. It is definitely something that is much easier to pull off than St. Clement, but it is kind of like in the same direction. So this perfume is inspired by Band, the antagonist character in Korean movie Burning. And I need to tell you that this is a very interesting perfume to me, and I like to wear it myself. So Ben is questioning his character. He may be straight, homosexual, or bisexual, and I find that Prin created a very interesting perfume, because it is just really hard to understand what it is about. So he tried to build many different opposite contrasting layers, and even though it is really multi-layered and there is a lot that is going on in here, I would describe it as the scent of a very successful person and his office with leather furniture, and there is also a wooden table that is super old, and there is this smoke of really expensive cigars and dark chocolate, and also chocolate liquor. That chocolate element is what creates a very interesting twist in here. Not really sweet, not really gourmand, just super interesting. And there are notes of Hey Absolute, plum, espresso, tobacco, hazelnut, leather, patchouli, incense, dark chocolate, and castoreum. This perfume is much easier to wear than St. Clement once again, and I just like it. It is just the scent that is delicious without being foodie or gourmand, and I highly recommend it to men and women during the cold winter time, because it will it will make your winter way more pleasant, cozy and delicious. And that is basically all for today's video. Now, if I needed to give you my 3 favorite recommendations, that would be Oliver for sure, Gherghe and Virginia, just because it's very easy to wear and pull off, but Burning Band for winter is just a must try. Clement is something just very special and not for everybody, in my opinion. And stay tuned for the review on Oliver and maybe Virginia and Gherghe, because I really want to talk about them in details. And that completes this video. I hope you learned something new, and once again, Pryn, I'm mesmerized once again. You're a true artist and I will always support what you're doing, and I highly recommend you guys to visit his official website. All the links to the Strangers Perfumerie and Pryn Parfums website will be in the description box down below, so check them out. And once again, these perfumes are super affordable and they are very long lasting. And that was all. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that helps me out so much, guys. And I love to chat with you, so leave me a comment below. Stay tuned, smell good, and we'll see each other in the next one really soon. Bye, guys.